Hello everyone. Are you a startup business who's planning to get funded? Then stay tuned for today's episode where we are going to talk about do's and don'ts of funding, right time to opt for funding, and what is the right channel of doing so. Stay tuned. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the brand new episode of the podcast, The Business Queens. Today, we have wonderful Miss Vandana on the show. She is the founder of a very well known investor company, and she has a huge number of awards in her bucket. Women entrepreneur brands, along with Nika, and top 10 consulting firms by a female founder. So, Vandana, we welcome you to today's show.
Thank you so much for having me here. It's a great pleasure to meet you as well, and looking forward for this podcast.
Great, Vandana. So, Vandana, share your journey. How did you, from somebody from the investment thing, how did you actually plan to become an entrepreneur? What motivated you to do so?
Actually, I was the owner of a family office fund in Singapore and Jakarta. Now, I decided to start my own business after accumulating years of experience heading a family office in Singapore and Jakarta and working as an investment banker and advisor to angel investors. My passion for supporting startups across diverse sectors fueled my motivation to establish Convanto. Convanto started about 9 years ago in 2014. And the motivating factors were twofold. First, the desire to contribute to the growth of startups and offer them support. I wished I had when I started my career. Second, the aspiration to create a platform that reflected my values and commitment to fostering a vibrant entrepreneurial ecosystem. And of course, starting a business came with its fair share of challenges. One of the initial hurdles was establishing credibility in the competitive landscape, convincing clients, investors, and stakeholders to trust a new player in the field, required persistent efforts and a track record of successful,
Hmm.
endeavors. Now, building a team that shared my vision was another challenge.
Hmm.
Assembling a group of like-minded individuals who were passionate about nurturing the startups and driving growth was crucial to achieving our goals.
Hmm.
Additionally, adapting to evolving market dynamics and staying ahead of the industry trend posed continuous challenges. The investment landscape and startup ecosystem are constantly changing, demanding adaptability and a forward thinking approach to remain relevant and effective. Now,
Absolutely.
despite these challenges, the driving force behind Convanto has always been the unwavering belief in the potential of startups
Hmm.
and the satisfaction of contributing to their success stories. This passion, coupled with the support of a dedicated team and commitment to continuous learning, has allowed us to overcome obstacles and making a meaningful impact on the entrepreneurial landscape.
Hmm.
We have now closed about 185 deals in 40 countries. We have helped four VC funds with their fundraisers. This month, we are closing seven deals. I have already launched my second company, which is called Avenya Angel Network.
Okay, that's great. It's good to know. So, Vandana, tell us something. With your extensive experience in, funding and working with different startups, I have seen as a business coach that there are many startups who are struggling to get the funding and they
Yeah.
face a lot of challenge. So, what tips would you like to give them when they are seeking funding?
See, what happens is that essentially uh, everybody wants to get into a trend, which is the startup trend, but without focusing on a lot of things that come into play. Now, many companies that want fundraisers, they are not even private limited. They don't have 2 to 3 founders. They don't have a complementary team like a CFO, CMO, head of operations, a finance team to complement and help them grow. Now, as a CEO and founder, you might not have all the skills. You can have, say, you're good at marketing, but you might not be good at handling finance. So you need to hire somebody who can manage your finances. Like we had a few cases wherein the entrepreneur did buy a car out of their investments, and also one of them treated cancer. Now, investments are for growing your business. Why
Right.
is the hard-earned money of the investor going in there? Because they believe in you and they want to see their money get multiplied so they can get a proper exit as well. But what happens is founders do take things very lightly, and essentially they don't want to have these things in order which will help them grow.
Right.
Apart from this, they quote a, uh, I would say very not normal valuations. Uh, and they want to, then there is some ego that comes into play, and that's why it spoils their game. So first step is these only, that if, and what happens is some founders, they don't have a website, they don't have a LinkedIn page, they don't have any team on their LinkedIn, but they are looking for funding without a track record because they want that the investor should take the entire risk, and they don't want to take the risk. So essentially, it is very, very important that you bootstrap first and not keep chasing the investor. And once you are at a certain level, then hire a proper investment banker, have proper things in place like pitch deck, a financial model valuation, a business plan, and then take a leap forward. So we also help startups make these documents professionally because many founders don't know what is the global standard format for these documents and how to present themselves.
Right, right. And I completely resonate with so many things that you just said, like startups not having the website and investing, the moment they start earning, they feel like now my business is going to grow every year. And they get in this loop, they buy big houses, big cars, everything. They invest so many things, and many of them are not aware of even what is their cash flow right now. And they
Yeah,
come
yeah,
to know about it at such later stage when there is no way back, and then
yeah, yeah.
say, oh my God, our startups failed. So they do not go by planning. Second thing is about funding. I must say this is something which is going on. Like people are hey crazy about getting funds. Like, and they feel that if investor would come in, they would bring their own experience, expertise, which will help them grow their business. But they have to understand that investor can only act as a mentor. Investor will not come and sit in their office and help them grow their business. This they have to do themselves only.
Not only that, when we as investment bankers, we pick up a deal
Hmm.
and so what are we essentially doing here? We are helping um, startups get investments through our relationships, which we have made over 25 years with the
Hmm.
MDs of these funds. But we also cannot put hands in the investor pocket and strangle them and say, hey, give us the money.
Hmm.
Now, what happens is, so even say after 20, 30 calls, say for instance, the founder is not getting funded, you will blame the investment banker and the investor, not reflect on themselves and make changes to that.
Hmm. Right, right. Absolutely. Okay, so tell us something, Vandana, because we are talking about funding and everything. So, how do you shortlist your potential clients? Like, what are the things you look for in the startups in order to match them up with different investors?
Typically we need to look what investor also looks at this is what is the founder's background, which is very, very essential. Are they making any revenue or their future plans to make revenue in the company? What is the technology that they are bringing to the table? What is a larger problem that they are solving,
Hmm.
which will create an impact? So these are the few things. We also look for founders that are humble and down to earth, and they who are ready to pivot things. Who are, we don't want founders who are coming only like we had few founders who would say that to the investors, I will make sure you come on my board. So one cannot talk like that to investors or anybody.
Right.
So that ego plays on with the
Hmm.
founders, which causes them for a downfall. And we do our strict due diligence before we, pick any
Hmm.
uh, startup, and we do check a lot of things about them. Yeah.
Right, right. And when it comes to funding, I sincerely believe that a well prepared pitch is also very important. Sometimes you have such good organization, you have the best of services or the best of products, but you're not able to pitch it well. You're not able to tell your business story, I would say. So, how do
Yeah.
you think like how important it is for the organizations to tell the story of their business well?
So it's very, very important. Now, one of our services is pitch deck making, making the financial models, business plan, and making founders investor ready.
Hmm.
Now, I could give you an example here. You are going to buy chocolates in the market. It's wrapped beautifully, get attracted to it, and you buy the chocolate. Similarly, we as investment bankers who have done this work professionally for decades, we package you in such a way that investors able to buy your essentially your story.
Hmm.
And of course, the founder would know their vision. The founder should know what is the drive in their business and which they need to, express this to the investor. Now,
Hmm.
how they sell themselves over the meetings that we have with the investors, how it is sold to the investors also creates an impact. Not that there is no due diligence done by the investor. Of course,
Hmm.
that is also done. But of course, the initial interest to get even the initial interest, one needs to be able to sell themselves. So I think storytelling is definitely important in all businesses. If you cannot tell a story about your work, then how are you going to convince the audience?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you just talked about vision. I have seen so many organizations who are into the business for more than 5 years, 6 years. They still don't have any clarity about their vision and mission.
Hmm,
They're
hmm,
just working randomly, like getting ideas for somewhere. Sometimes they are putting in digital marketing, then getting the website. And when it comes to website, even they have this plain basic website which does nothing, just as a social proof. However, I have seen businesses who are getting good number of leads from their website. So recently, it recalls me of an instance. I just dropped a message to somebody on LinkedIn. I saw their website and I was not very happy with it because they were doing amazing work and their website was not that good. So I dropped her a message telling her that if you need any help in the website, because this is my way to give back to my community. So she said, "Are you a website developer?" I said, no, I'm not a website developer. It's just one strategy to generate leads. If it is combined with other lead generation strategies, your business can grow manifold. But still, somehow, I was able to, tell her what I actually meant. And finally, she has revamped her website and her leads has become twice in just 1 month's period. So I was very happy with that. Can you share a similar success story? Like, how did you help any startup get the funding and get whatever, how did you match it up? Any recent success story?
See, typically we do a $1 million to $100 million deal.
Okay.
We so already they are doing well. They are revenue making companies and They have very beautiful websites. They know how to sell themselves to the investors.
Hmm.
We have closed a deal recently in a health tech platform where they actually, uh, you know, essentially they take the saliva of the person and test their behavior. And based on their behavior, their career path is detected. So, so this is something unique that they have done,
Hmm.
and they have helped a lot of students and people to derive the correct career path.
Hmm.
So I think we really helped them, and of course, they had a lot of motivation in themselves also. Their product was also good,
Right.
but we also helped them. We guided them in the right manner, and they did get their investments, and now they will be going for an IPO soon.
Hmm. That's great, and I sincerely feel that if you are not able to do things well, it's perfectly okay to ask for help. See, if you
Yeah,
keep
yeah,
doing it yourself, for 5 years, 10 years, you are just wasting your resources. And the most important resource in any business is time. If you're simply
yeah,
trying and testing things and doing it for 5 years, 7 years, and later on you feel, oh my God, I would have done it 5 years back. So better work right now instead of having that guilt 5 years later. So I would seriously request all the people who are listening to us today, if you are stuck somewhere in your business, you are seeking funding opportunities, you are not able to scale your business, please go and get some help from people. There are so many people who can really help you in that, because sometimes you need to overcome your ego and tell yourself, yes, I need somebody to guide me here.
yeah. That is true. That is true.
And as we just talked about all the awards that you have,
Yeah.
got as a women entrepreneur, what would you like to tell to other women entrepreneurs who are listening to us, who somehow feel stuck in their business? Because, business is full of ups and downs. And I would say we have less ups and more downs. Someday we feel like completely giving up. And being a woman, it is somehow a little difficult as compared to male counterparts. So, what would you like to tell them about your journey?
See, regardless of gender, I'd say that every entrepreneur has similar objectives. They would like to see their business grow,
Hmm.
take forward their ideas, vision along with it. And, these are the objectives that whether it's a woman
Hmm.
or a male, uh, they have essentially the same objectives to grow their business, right?
Right.
Now, I feel that being an entrepreneur itself comes with a plethora of challenges. Now, however, when coupled with challenges of being a woman in a male dominated industry, it can be difficult. Now, more often than not, sometimes I'm only the woman in the room filled with men. Sometimes I'm not taken seriously, by my male counterparts, because there tends to be the subconscious bias in people's mind where that women aren't business savvy,
Right.
or as capable of running a business as a man.
Hmm.
Now, to combat this, I make it a point to address this issue whenever I can. Just I'm doing it on your podcast today. The first step towards change is acknowledge the need for it when it comes to challenging these biases. And I believe my work speaks for myself.
Hmm.
So every step we take towards challenging norms, providing opportunities, and achieving milestones contributes to the success of Convanto
Hmm.
and reinforces the notion that gender should never be the limit to
Hmm.
one's potential in the entrepreneur world.
Hmm.
So, this is essentially how we do things, because for women also, sometimes women don't take themselves seriously.
Yeah.
Like,
True.
they will always look for validation. I had two women founders who would go back and keep changing their decisions because their husband would say something. I know a VC fund, and there's a woman on the board, and behind the husband is telling them what to do. So uh, these are some of the factors that you have to manage your own things, make your own decisions, and stop looking for
Hmm.
validations.
Right.
This is where we go wrong, and um, so uh, sometimes also we don't cut things short, and we like how other entrepreneurs, they just cut things short and make it simple.
Right.
Sometimes women tend to just prolong things.
Hmm.
So that is another thing. And I think if it's a single man or a single woman, the challenges would be the same. But the objective to reach that goal essentially is the same.
Hmm.
And how one person perceives from the other, it's totally different, because now I think people have a broader mindset towards working women, towards women managing a lot of stuff, and men are also managing home equally. So I think there is a change, but the change also has to come from the women founders themselves.
Right.
And that sometimes I see there is a lack in that.
Agree. I completely agree. And I work with women entrepreneurs primarily to grow their business, and there are so many of them who have shared the similar kind of challenges. But somehow I feel that there is a self-belief missing in many of them, because
Yeah.
they seek validation, and when it comes to validation, they seek validation from their spouses as well. Like if they are doing something, they would go back to them and tell them, this is what I did in the business. And if he says, no, you should have done it that way, and their
Yeah.
confidence is crushed, like they would start disbelieving themselves, they lose their entire confidence. So I think they need to get more stronger when it comes to it, because they themselves have to do it. No one else can come and push them to do it.
Whether it's a male also, nobody can push them. Whether it's a female also, nobody can push them.
Right.
The decision cannot be based. Now, say for instance, a woman wants something for her startup,
Hmm.
but the husband says, no, you should not do this. So
Hmm.
again, she will change her mind, and this will break her confidence
Right.
in what she is doing, and she will not be able to make mistakes or correct them or understand, okay, this is how I need to change the strategy, this is how I need to do this.
Hmm.
So I can proudly say I have no backing of a husband, of a brother, of a father. I am a self-made woman, and I have raised my two kids very happily. So I make my own decisions.
And that's good. I would say it all depends on your mindset somehow.
Yeah, yeah. It all depends. So, I think women should read this book, Power of the Subconscious Mind.
Hmm.
This will help them attract good things in life, and also help them with a mind to, that will guide them in the right direction.
Right, right. And I've also seen that you have been awarded by Miss Kiran Bedi as well. And you
Yeah,
have
yeah,
been recognized for your contribution to the STEM society. Can you tell us
yeah.
something more about it?
So I've got several awards in my journey, and I'll just start with the first award. I was a top 10 women leaders in wealth management 2021. My brand Convanto comes under the top 10 women entrepreneur brands along with Nykaa. Convanto is also the top 10 consulting firms in India led by a female founder. I was a woman entrepreneur of the year 2021 and 2023.
Hmm.
In 2022, Dr. Kiran Bedi awarded Convanto to be the best financial institution in supporting startups in India. I've been awarded by World Women Congress in 2023 February to be a global woman leader as well. A book has been released on Amazon. This book covers stories of 25 women entrepreneurs, out of which one of it is myself. And this book has reached the Prime Minister and the Finance Minister as well.
Powerful, so powerful. And I really hope that our audience take motivation from you, they get inspiration from you. If you can do it, anyone else can do it.
Yeah, I think it's just your belief
Yeah,
and how you attract the right kind of opportunities, how positive you are
right.
from inside. That helps you. It's said in our books also, what we
Hmm.
are inside, we attract good things outside, whatever it is inside us. So as
Absolutely.
long as inside is clear, then outside becomes a beautiful garden as well.
Hmm. Because once you have a powerful belief system, an entrepreneurial mindset, and you do things with focus and consistency, I've seen people grow like anything. Because
Yeah,
there are people who lack mindset, they are focused, they are consistent, but still they don't get result. There are people who have good mindset, but they are not focused. They don't do any efforts. So only, having mindset and not focusing on the right action is also not going to take you anywhere.
yeah, true, true,
Okay,
true.
so being working in this startup ecosystem for such a long time, have
Hmm.
you seen any changes that have happened recently?
My business journey with Convanto has not been without its own ups and downs.
Hmm.
Throughout the years, I have had to manage and cater to the needs of a variety of clients, which hasn't always been easy. The way businesses were managed also changed overnight during COVID.
Hmm.
And I had to adapt accordingly. Additionally, since business is a part of the finance industry, it has to change and cater to different economic situations of the world. So, all of this taught me the importance of flexibility in a business and the drive to succeed in the management of a business.
Right.
Now, for instance, when demonetization happened, many of us didn't know how to use Google Pay,
Hmm.
Paytm, phone pay, and now even the vegetable vendors are using it because we were pushed to do that.
Hmm.
In the pandemic, many of us didn't know how to use platforms as Zoom, StreamYard, uh, you know, Google Meets. There were so many, Microsoft Teams. There were different platforms that were coming up for meetings, for events. When we were forced to use those platforms because everybody had to work in a digital way, um, or I could say online, sitting on one chair, that is when people realize the importance of it and how it can cut short so many things when we are doing these things online. So I think the change comes with a push only, and which I think that there's a lot of change now. There are a lot of startups that have come in. People have learned the importance of being digital and going online through. So everybody believes in a digital presence now. So I think things have really changed. I had people from big companies who had lost jobs come to me and they had forgotten to use simple tools like LinkedIn, Facebook story, WhatsApp story. When, I mean, everybody had those tools, but nobody really used them.
Yes. Yes, that's true. Okay, so tell us one more thing, Vandana, because I have seen startups, they struggle while negotiating with the investors. So,
Mhm.
what tips would you like to give them? What is the right way of negotiating with the investors? One is that you have already highlighted, don't come with big goals. Like you cannot, without bootstrapping, you cannot directly go to the investor and tell them, I want this much amount. So, what is the right way, and what are the negotiation tools they must use to convince the investors?
Firstly, hire the right kind of investment bankers who have the right kind of relationship with the MDs of the funds, like
Hmm.
us. And they will help you get the right kind of deal. You actually really don't need to negotiate too much with the investor if you are presenting yourself in the right manner, with the right kind of financial statements, with the right kind of valuation, with the right kind of decks, with the right kind of team. The investor understands, and they will also give you a reasonable uh, reasonable offer. Now, I haven't seen investors in my circle give any unreasonable offer to anybody. But there have been cases where some of the clients have come to me and they have been bullied by family offices or somebody from their near and dear ones, a family or a friend or a relative who maybe didn't have the knowledge of investments and just invested.
Hmm.
So, I think to connect with the right kind of partners is very important, and having them to uh, play the role rather than you are driving everything and then making a mistake there, it's very important.
Right. And you have highlighted this very important point when they are bullied by their friends and relatives. It's not only in investment, I've seen them getting bullied by, forcing them, please hire my cousin, please hire my
Yeah,
niece, nephew. And they are just for the sake of obligation, they are hiring wrong people, and their team building is not done in the right way. This is a
not
very
only
big
that.
challenge. Yeah.
Yeah, not only that, then uh, they are using their network. The network is using them for the
Hmm.
wrong things. Like, can you do this for me? Can you teach me how to do this? Like, can you also, like, so continuously asking for favors
Hmm.
because they themselves cannot build anything. And that's where many founders go wrong, because due to some obligation, they start doing that, then they're losing their focus. When there is a vast network where you can just build network on your own. So I have built my network in Convanto from scratch
Hmm.
without support system. So I think everybody can, and one needs to realize that our network is our human capital.
Right.
Our financial capital is comes second, but our human capital is first. So
Hmm.
how we, build that, I think that's a way to create larger businesses. That's a way to create larger audiences, a way to create, your business to the best of your abilities.
Hmm.
And also with the right kind of partners, select your partners. Even if you have to shut down a few people, you just shut down and move forward, because
Yeah.
ultimately it's about you.
Hmm. Right, right. And I think assertive communication is what is needed here. They need to learn to say no, because it's not
Yeah,
necessary if the person is your relative, your close friend, or whatever. Business is something which is separate than that. Your personal relations should not mingle up in your business. Say
yeah.
straightforward no. If they are actually close to you, they will understand.
Of course, of course. And if you're not comfortable with something, you can just say a no politely and walk off. You don't
Right.
have to really spoil your stuff because of that. Yeah.
Yeah, because I've seen many entrepreneurs, especially when it comes to women entrepreneurs, I've seen many of them as people pleasers. Like they feel, oh my God, what would my relatives say? Oh my God, what would they say? So they have to overcome and they have to rise above all this.
So this is what the validation point that I had made earlier, that stop looking for validation, whether it's your own parents, it's your own family, it's your own friends, your work will automatically speak for itself. The moment you become a people's pleaser, instead of pleasing yourself, you will not be able to essentially um succeed, because you're not doing what your heart says, you're just doing what the others are saying, and your decisions, you will not have then the capacity to make any decisions. You'll
Right.
be always confused.
Hmm. True, true. So, your story was featured in Eve's Against the Odds. So,
That's right.
how do you contribute to the business world? Like, tell us something more about it.
How do I contribute to the business world?
Yeah, so
uh,
basically, how do you see what is your role in the narrative around women entrepreneurs and how do you contribute to it?
See, like I said also, that we are totally for the startups. Now, what sets Convanto apart is our commitment to our clients, experience in the industry that we are unconventional. So, unlike traditional consulting firms, we have proven operational expertise in funding, creating value, driving growth, maximizing results. Now, our target audience does not just compromise women. Our target audience is simply large, medium, and small sized revenue making companies with a requirement of raising funds. And of course, this includes companies run by enterprising female founders too. Now, let me elaborate on this. We have a very tailored approach. Now, we understand that entrepreneurs often have unique needs and perspectives. Our approach is tailored to address these specific requirements, providing customized solutions that resonate with their goals and aspirations. Now, with a wealth of experience in diverse sectors and a track record of successful funding arrangements, we bring a level of expertise that instills confidence in our clients. Now, our ability to navigate various industries positions us as a trusted partner for entrepreneurs. Now, we have cultivated a broad network of investors, mentors, and industry partners. This enables us to connect entrepreneurs with the resources and opportunities that align their business objectives, enhancing their chances of success. We actively are involved in discussions, talks, publications that spotlight the achievements of entrepreneurs by sharing stories of success, challenges. We inspire and uplift our target audience, fostering a sense of community and motivation.
Right.
Apart from this, we go beyond just financial transactions. Our services encompass a range of areas crucial to business growth, including mentoring, guidance, and introductions to potential partners. The comprehensive support is especially valuable to entrepreneurs who seek well-rounded assistance. Now, our allocates and awards as top women leaders and women entrepreneurs of the year demonstrate our commitment to excellence. This recognition reassures entrepreneurs that they are partnering with a brand that has a proven track record. Now, ultimately, our differentiation lies in the fusion of expertise, tailored support, and advocacy. We strive to be more than a service provider. We aim to be a trusted ally in the journey, enhancing their chances of success, contributing to a more diverse and thriving entrepreneurial landscape. And apart from this, you know, we also believe in, so the goal is to get the maximum number of companies get funded through these investors so that they can also grow. So the vision is essentially that.
Okay. So if any startup is looking forward to collaborate with you and seeking your services, is there any particular criteria they must meet?
Well, they have to reach us first, explain what they are doing. We will evaluate them basis on what is their experience, etc. And then usually we pick them up.
Okay, great. So it was a pleasure, Vandana, to have you on the show. This has brought me to the end of today's podcast. What one message would you like to give to our audience?
So it's a slightly long message that which resonates with my journey as an entrepreneur and a woman, dedicated to making a positive impact. Now, embrace your aspirations, regardless of the challenges that come your way. Believe in the power of your dreams and ability to achieve them. Whether you're aspiring entrepreneur, a seasoned business owner, or someone navigating the complexities of life, remember that every challenge is an opportunity to grow. Surround yourself with a strong support system, remain open to learning, and always stay true to your values. Now, you know, empowerment and success are not only attainable, but within your reach. Now, each step you take, every idea you bring to life contributes to a better future. Embrace the journey, celebrate your victories, and remember that your journey inspires others to take their steps forward. Stay determined, be compassionate towards yourself, and always strive to make a meaningful impact. With the right mindset and a passion for your goals, you have the potential to achieve greatness. Um, and anybody who criticizes you is only doing that because they are doing lesser than you.
Hmm.
So don't just fall for it, And I want to wish all of you the best of your journey of empowerment, growth, and success. Um, make sure your market is of great importance. What is your market? In which industry you are? And make sure you're targeting your right market.
Hmm.
So if you're not doing that, then you're just wasting your own time.
Right. So it
This
was
is
indeed a powerful message, ending on a very good note that you should know who's your ideal client. If you are not pitching it to them, you are wasting your resources. Thank you so much, Vandana, and it was a pleasure to have you today.
Thank you so much for your precious time, and thank you for having me on your podcast, and have a blessed day.